Let's talk about 5 signs that you're not ready to be in a relationship. Before I start going through my pointers, I just want to say that it is okay to be single. You do not have to be in a relationship, and you need to make sure that you're always ready before being in a relationship, or else the relationship is doomed from the beginning. Number 1, if you don't love yourself. This should be the most obvious one, but if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else and have them love you? Temporarily, a partner can totally validate your feelings and make you feel seen and heard, but in the long run, if you don't love yourself, it's never going to work out because you're constantly going to have doubts in your head and you're going to have self-resentment. Number 2, if you're not over your ex yet. Also, this is the Refi Beauty Primer, and it's so good and hydrating. A lot of times when people are trying to get over their ex, they seek attention elsewhere and then oftentimes jump into a new relationship, but that is like the worst thing you can do. You need time to grow and heal individually, and if you just put everything onto another partner, that relationship is literally never going to last, and it's not fair to them because you're low-key still hung up on your ex, and that's the only reason you're even in the relationship. By hopping into a relationship, you're just going to have to deal with the inevitable that eventually you are going to have to deal with the heartbreak and you are going to have to deal with loving yourself. And number 3, you're just craving validation. Also, this is the Iconic London Smooth Blur, and it adds such a good shade to your complexion. I have genuinely seen so many people jump into relationships because their partner validates their feelings and gives them attention when they're feeling lonely. People get really uncomfortable when they have to be alone, but one thing I've learned is being uncomfortable in your skin is a sign of growth, and if you can overcome that period of uncomfortableness, you will find so much love and peace in yourself. The Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand is literally the most natural, like flawless contour shade ever. Number 4, you have unrealistic expectations. It is okay to have high standards and high, strong boundaries. However, you should not be having crazy, unrealistic expectations that just like aren't even possible, because then you're not going to let your relationship get to its fullest potential. Having super high expectations with anything in life can just lead to a lot of disappointment. So it's important just to be open with everything and just to put your differences aside and give things a chance. I restocked on all my like OG products, so it literally feels like an unboxing haul at this point. And number 5, you haven't healed from your last relationship trauma. The only way you're ever going to be able to be in like a super happy, healthy relationship is if you're able to heal and work on your past relationship trauma by going to therapy and working on yourself. The way I look at things overall is there's literally no rush to anything when it comes to protecting your heart and your love life. So it's so important just to work on yourself and make sure you love yourself as a person and you are healed from your past before you dive into anything. I'm gonna finish up the makeup real quick off camera and come back. And this is the final makeup. Let's talk about 8 things that I consider to be toxic when it comes to relationships. Number 1, if they're controlling what you wear. You guys are your own individual people and can make your own decisions based on what you wear out of the house. If your boyfriend's tripping out about what you're wearing, clearly he's too insecure in the relationship. Number 2, if they get mad when you go out. I firmly believe that just because you're in a relationship does not mean you should be withheld from going out. If you want to enjoy your time out with your friends, go enjoy your time out with your friends. Your partner should not hold you back from that. If there's genuine trust in the relationship, this should not matter. Number 3, giving the silent treatment. I just think this is toxic if you don't communicate. You can say, hey, I need a second. Can we have some space? But don't just like give the silent treatment and be like, we're grown adults. Let's use our words. Number 4, they don't support you for your accomplishments. Your partner should be your biggest cheerleader, so if they're feeling like insecure about your accomplishments or just don't really care, there is clearly something wrong and not okay with that. Number 5 is yelling of any sort. For me, this is just a major no-no. If you actually take a step back, why are 2 people that love each other so much like yelling at each other? It's just so unnecessary. Like, you guys can totally have arguments. Arguments are totally healthy, but there's no reason to be like aggressively yelling at each other. It's just traumatizing. Also, this is the powder, the Kosas powder in the shade Featherly, and it's so good. Number 6, there's constant criticism. You deserve to be with somebody who truly accepts you for you, and you shouldn't have to feel like you're constantly being criticized or judged for what you do. Also, this is the Pacifica Fluffy Blush in the shade Bloom. First time trying it, and it's gorgeous. Number 7 is hypocrisy. You guys have to have equal boundaries. It's an equal partnership. One person cannot say something and then do that exact same thing that they're not allowing their partner to do. And number 8, when your partner says that they hate your friends for no valid reason. This often happens when your friends know that your partner is bad news, so they're telling you, warning you, and your partner kind of figures that out, so they start to just bash on your friends and say that they hate your friends for like actually not a valid reason. Anyways, I hope this helped you guys. Please steer clear from those toxic relationships because you deserve the world and that partner might not be the world. Just gonna finish up the lash and lips off camera. And this is the final makeup look. Let's talk about 8 ways to deal with being in a long distance relationship. Being in a long distance relationship is one of the hardest things people have to go through. You're away from the love of your life and you can't physically see or touch them. I feel like a lot of individuals in relationships spiral and wonder if it's worth it or not. In my opinion, I think it can work for the right person. So here are 8 tips to help get you through it. Number 1, schedule FaceTime and call dates. You guys are long distance now, and if you want to make it work, you have to morph and adapt to the new norms, which is virtual and being online. If you guys used to go to the movie theater in person, that's fine. Set up a movie theater date at home, and you guys can both just watch a movie and sync it to the same laptop. Having these dates are going to be so important because it's going to show that you guys are both still putting in an effort, and you guys are still going to be getting that quality time together. Number 2, always have a planned visit. Also, this is the iconic London Skin Tint Smooth Blur. Planned visits are so important just because you want to always know the next time you're going to see them. That way it makes it way less sad when you're leaving their side, and it just gives you something to look forward to. Number 3, always communicate right away when there's a problem. I feel like it's really common to avoid problems and confrontation when you're in a long distance relationship because you don't want to get in a fight with the partner because everything is so kind of fragile just because you guys aren't together and you can't fix it in person. And B, it's easier to just like kind of avoid the problem just since you're not with the person. So it's always best to just snip it in the butt right when you're feeling some type of way. That way things don't linger and you don't build up resentment for each other. Like I promise, you're not being drama by bringing up something that bothers you. Number 4, always be honest. Trust is absolutely the most important part of any relationship, and it's especially important when you're in a long distance relationship because emotions are high, you're feeling some anxieties about your partner, they might be going out without you, and you guys just have to be honest and upfront with each other so no one's hiding anything. Number 5, don't spend all day texting. Also, this is a Tarte blush in the shade Sun Crush, and it's so pretty. We are so blessed in this day and age to have FaceTime because it's so similar to being in person with someone. So it is way better to wait till the end of the day when you're able to FaceTime your person and actually talk face to face about your day rather than just texting throughout the day. Then there's nothing left to talk about. You can even make a little notes app of reminders throughout the day of things you want to mention to your man. That's so cute. Number 6, have a plan for the future. There should always be an end date to the long distance just because if you don't have an end date, it's like, okay, what are we doing this for? What's the long-term goal? It's also going to make it more exciting because you're just going to look forward to the time that you guys finally get to be together and live together. Number 7, when you guys actually do get to see each other, make sure you're spending true quality time together. Don't spend that time bickering over the small, stupid bullshit that you guys don't even care about. Also, this is the shade Kitten in the Stila highlighter, and it's just like really light and subtle, and I like it. And number 8, never stop making them a priority. Just because you're not physically there with them does not mean that they're not at the top of your priority list. You have to make the effort every single day to make them a number 1 priority. This is not an ad, but the Kosas brow gel is like the best brow gel ever. I'm gonna wrap up the makeup look real quick. And this is the final makeup. Is it okay for girlfriends to post bikini pictures while being in a relationship? So this topic is extremely controversial. A lot of boyfriends don't appreciate their girlfriend posting bikini pictures. They think it's slutty or seeking attention, while other boyfriends don't care because they're just like, it's a bikini. At the end of the day, every relationship is different, so I can't tell anybody how to feel. This is just simply my opinion on it. So my short answer is yes, I do think girls in relationships should be able to post bikini pictures. I think the biggest thing is to just understand the intent behind the girlfriend's bikini picture. Is she posting this for male validation? Is it a very sexualized picture? Or is she posting it to feel empowered? And has she been working on her body and trying to show it off because of how much she's worked for it? In my opinion, when I see girls post bikini pictures on Instagram, I immediately can just tell the intent behind it. You just kind of know based on the pose and like who the person is. If she's doing it for attention, obviously that's not relationship behavior. But if it's to feel empowered, I just don't see the problem in that. When I think of bikinis, I think of the beach. I think about how every single person wears a bikini or swim trunk, and it's as simple as a bathing suit. I feel like society has really sexualized bathing suit and bathing suit pictures when it honestly can just be like an innocent picture of you on a family vacation at the beach. I will say that I do think the pose in the picture does make a difference. If it's like an overly obviously sexual picture, like she's bent over or something like that, sure, you know, maybe it's more for attention. But if it's like a picture of you standing there, even a picture of you turned, it's like, okay, somebody would see that at the beach too. I do just want to add that this is coming from someone who's grown up in California all of her life, so I do get it in a lot of different cultures and places of the world. It's obviously a different story. I see a problem with the bikini pictures if it's just extremely sexual. I think intimacy and sex is a very important thing for just you and your partner. So when that gets transcended onto social media, that's when it can be kind of wishy-washy. Every relationship has completely different boundaries. It's kind of just works for everyone and what they're comfortable with. I really think it's just important to have equal boundaries. I've honestly never understood how boyfriends like get mad at their girlfriends for posting bikini pictures, yet they're liking Instagram model bikini pictures all damn day. If you're a boyfriend and you're having a big problem with your girlfriend posting these bikini pictures, I do think it has a little bit to do with like your security in the relationship, but B, I would just be very careful about how you word it to your partner. The more you word it as something she can't do or isn't allowed to do, the more she might push back and just feel trapped. I think everyone just wants to feel respected, so as long as she is posting in a respectful manner, I definitely don't see the problem in the bikini pictures. Anywho, I'm gonna wrap up the makeup and come back. Okay, I'm finishing off with a Kylie lip crayon in the shade Hits Different. You're lying. You're lying. What the actual fuck? It's okay, we revived ourselves. Ooh, pretty shade. I'm gonna add this darker shade in the shade Thanks for Nothing, just to give some more dimension. I'm being so violent with these crayons. Okay, bomb. Anyways, this is the final makeup look.